Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network and producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and Phil Svitek, this is iTalk Movies. Long-form interviews with leading members of the film industry. And now, your host of iTalk Movies.
Hi everyone, I am Marielou Mandl and this is iTalk Movies on Popcorn Talk. So make sure you do follow Popcorn Talk on @the Popcorn Talk on Twitter. You can also subscribe on YouTube, so make sure, or YouTube and iTunes, I put them in one. YouTunes.
It all connects anyway.
YouTube, iTunes, all of those places. Make sure you follow us and you can comment and let us know what you think. I'm your host for this episode of iTalk Movies. I'm Marielou Mandl. You can find me on all social media @Marielou Mandl. And today I am speaking with Shelley Regner of Pitch Perfect and Pitch Perfect 2. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me here on Popcorn Talk.
Thank you for being here. Please tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Yes, you can find me on all social media @Shelley Regner.
All right. What kind of social media do you do? You Twitter, Facebook, all of
I do
that?
the Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I haven't gotten the Periscope yet. I just found out about it.
Yeah.
So I'll have to figure out how that works.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Snapchat's the one that I can't quite get a hold on.
I just started really getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
It started out as just me and one other friend really just sending crazy pictures to each other. And then now I'm starting to follow stories, and I just found out what a story was.
Yeah. The first few times I used it, I was like, hold it. And then I'm like, wait, it's gone. What do I do?
It erased itself.
I want to look at it again. What did I do to mess it up? No, apparently it's just, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all there is to it.
And then after like 24 hours, it's gone forever.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's somewhere in the stratosphere of the, World Wide Web.
Well, one thing that we're glad is not gone forever is Pitch Perfect came back in a sequel.
Yes, it did.
So exciting. So tell us a little bit about your experience from Pitch Perfect 1 to Pitch Perfect 2 and that ride that's brought you on.
Oh my goodness. It's been an incredible experience, and I'm so glad to be part of the Pitch Perfect family. We filmed the first one in 2011. It came out in 2012. I can't believe that was already 3 years ago. Time just flies by so fast. But the first one, I was actually living in Louisiana where we shot. And
You're from the South? I'm from
the South. I'm a Southern girl. Where are you from?
Florida.
Florida. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Marielou. My name's Marielou Anne.
Marielou. I know you've got the triple name. Definitely from the South. I kind of played tour guide for the first movie. All the girls came down, and they were all LA based, and I was the local girl, and they were always looking to me of where to go eat or where to go, find different movies or different bookstores or just different hangouts. And it was an incredible experience. We didn't quite know what we had on our hands. Mm-hmm. We just knew we were involved in this musical movie based on a cappella groups in college, and we were just having a great time. And the response that the first movie got was just astounding, and we were so excited. And when the producers called up and they said, I think we're going to try and do a sequel, the audience is kind of demanding it. So we all said yes. We went back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, did it a second time around, and the second time around was, even more so, just so much more fun.
Right.
Everybody kind of knew where they were and their playing field and everything, and we had all the same characters come back, and then we got to add more members to our family, with new characters and new members on set. So, it was just a blast. It was a family reunion and, summer musical camp all in the same time.
Yeah, which is great. And with Pitch Perfect 1, I didn't see it when it first came out, but for years, like all of my friends were like, Marielou, you're going to love this movie. Because I love musical movies. I love like pop movies and stuff that's like about, fun girls and
we should probably go to the
like
movies together. Yeah, we would like the same movies.
But I don't know why I didn't see it until I saw like three different friends from different groups were like, Marielou, you haven't seen that? Like that makes no sense. So I went and I rented it and I was like, how did I not watch this movie? And then a week later was announced the sequel. And I was like, yes.
Well, you kind of got it right on time. Yeah.
It was waiting for me to watch it, and they were like,
you didn't have to wait too long in anticipation after the announcement.
And then I was like, I want to be a Bella so bad.
Yes, the Bellas. I'm glad I get to be one. My dog's name is actually Bella, which is really funny.
Yeah? Was it because of the movie?
No, she's about 13 years old now, so I call her the original Bella.
Oh, so is she kind of a mascot?
She definitely a mascot. For during the first production of Pitch Perfect, my family was still still living in Louisiana, and, I had all the girls over and everything. And, of course, they met my dog, and they're like, what's her name? I said, this is the original Bella. So everybody wanted to take pictures with Bella and, play around with her.
Oh,
so, yeah,
that's wonderful.
She was definitely kind of the mascot.
So how did you get into the movie? Like, was it a typical audition, scenario? Because you were living in Louisiana.
Yeah, I actually went to an open call. I attended Louisiana State University. I graduated there in 2011, and I had just previously graduated about 4 months prior to this audition. And the school announced that they were having an open call for this musical movie that was going to be filming in and around campus. And so I saw the post, and I said, well, that should go for alumni as well. It's open. And so there was a sign-in sheet. There were about 70 names on it. And I signed my name. I went to my appointment time. I sang, they asked us to sing one of our favorite karaoke songs.
What was it?
So obviously I sang Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Yes! Yes, I always want to dance with somebody.
I let my inner diva out for that audition. And I honestly didn't really know what I was auditioning for. I just knew that it was this musical movie called Pitch Perfect. It was based in a college setting, and that's all I knew. I thought I was trying out to be like an extra or some background role. And so they called me back about 3 times, the first time to sing for our first director, Jason Moore, who, has done Broadway directing for Avenue Q and Shrek the Musical. And so I knew who he was, being, a theater major myself. And so I'm walking into this room with like Broadway, glory over here. I sang him another song. This time I sang It's Rainin' Men. So of course, going with the diva mode.
Yeah.
So obviously that kept working. They called me back again to dance for producers and everything. And they had a big group of us and seeing how we all kind of interacted with each other. And so from that final callback, a lot of familiar faces were on set for the first Pitch Perfect. But they called me and said they wanted to book me for this role named Ashley. She's going to be a part of the girl group, which had yet to be named at the time. So we a couple weeks in, we found out our names were the Bellas. And so, they called me on a Friday night, and I get the cast list on Sunday night before rehearsal on Monday. And I see all these names, and I see Anna Kendrick and Brittany Snow and Anna Camp. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm working with who? And it's these veterans that I'd been watching. I've watched their careers since, a little girl. And so to get the chance to work with them was, I was nervous but excited at the same time. And, now to be able to call them colleagues and friends is just, they took
pictures with your dog.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's pretty awesome.
They're coming over for tacky Christmas parties.
Okay, so you were excited working with Jason Moore as a director.
Yes.
And then I was surprised when I went in to see Pitch Perfect 2 when the credits started to roll and it was Elizabeth Banks was the director. I stood up and started clapping. I saw like a Wednesday morning.
And her first directorial debut, mind you.
And it was fabulous.
She did a fantastic job.
Yeah, so how was it like working with her?
It was incredible. Well, of course, I got to work with her during the first one. She produced and acted in it. And, just meeting her, she intimidated me, not in a manner of, personality, but she's so beautiful that it took me like 2 weeks to finally get the courage to even go say hello. I was just in awe of how gorgeous she was. But yeah, to be back and when I found out she was directing for the second one, everyone was kind of had their ears perked up because they were like, oh my gosh, this is her first time. How's she going to do? She nailed it. I mean, first of all, she brought the energy up every day on set. I mean, she just was like a little Mexican jumping bean and just continually had this burst of energy. She knew exactly how she wanted to execute the movie, what scenes she wanted to shoot, how each character, should react in certain situations, the shots. And she had just so much on her plate, all different titles, director, producer, actor, that I don't know how she got it all done. I wanted to drink the juice that she was drinking because it had to be something magical.
And she has kids also. I read something where she had to like put her kids like disrupt their regular lives.
So she could direct the movie. She had her like PlayStation set up in her office, in her production office, so the kids would come by and they would come play. And of course, her husband Max Handelman, they have their production company together. So it was really nice that they can all be together. But yeah, I don't know how she juggled it all, but she did it, and she did it with poise and finesse.
Oh my gosh!
Obviously, the movie has done so well in its first opening weekend, and now the opening week, that she's got like 7 thumbs up.
Yeah. So I mean, she was already my hero, but now even more so.
Even more so.
Elizabeth Banks, I love you.
Yes, I love you too, Liz.
Well, see, for you, like she's like, oh yeah, great. She's like, oh, this other girl, like, all right, thanks. I appreciate that.
No, I can vouch for her, Liz.
I love it. I think she's so wonderful. So like you were mentioning about like big opening weekend, you guys beat out Mad Max.
Can you believe?
Amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, we beat out Mad Max and topped Avengers when that being in its third weekend, and it leaves me speechless, honestly. It's we knew that it was going to have a great response based on the first one, because we knew so many people were excited to see these characters coming back, and we were excited to present it out to the world again. But to have this kind of response, and then I saw a headline that it was the biggest selling musical movie ever. Yeah. I was like, what do you mean we beat Grease and Chicago and all of these, classic Oscar-nominated movies?
Yeah, because it's so wonderful, and that's original.
It's original, and that's what I love about it. It's really, acapella's been around since the beginning of time. It's never really been mainstreamed, and we didn't. That wasn't our purpose to mainstream a cappella, but we think that's a really cool thing that now a cappella, and college groups and groups, that travel and tour the country and the world even, are being sought after. The pentatonics, I feel like really kind of took off on this platform with Pitch Perfect being behind it, and the sing off, and it's really cool that it's becoming more of a mainstream thing in society right now.
And there were some real actual like a cappella groups that were in the movie.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. There was the Penn Masala from Penn State. They have a huge cameo in this movie, and we definitely had actual a cappella groups, and they would come. The Pentatonics have a cameo in the second one. Sorry, spoilers. If you, I think it's in the press.
The movie.
I'm pretty sure it's out there. So it was fantastic to have them, come on set, and we're appreciative of their talent, and everybody was appreciative of ours, and so it was just a big support system of all these musical talents coming together. It was amazing.
So then another question I have for you is this storyline that the Jessica and Ashley characters have, and being like, oh, we've always been here, but like not saying anything. Did that just come up? Was that written in? How did that come about?
For the first movie, it was actually we were solely the characters that sang, and we were silent in the back, and so it was actually one of our last days of filming when we filmed that last scene, and our director finally said, you know what, girls, we're going to cut to you. Why don't you, if you feel like it, why don't you say something? And so I threw in this line that said, we've literally been here the whole time, and it made the cut. And it's to this day, from what I'm hearing and, based on Twitter and even my friends, one of the favorite lines of the movie, which I'm, so grateful to, because I was just like, I'm just trying to talk.
Yeah. You're just like trying to get a line in.
So it kind of became the joke, and which really went along with the script, because the script is something of, it kind of just makes fun of itself. We're not here to try and be serious or change the world, or poverty or anything. We're just trying to bring joy and smiles with music and comedy, and to poke fun at yourself. It's one way of doing that. Yeah. And so that's what I love about the movie. And so, here in the second time around, we kind of take it a step further, and just kind of become so irrelevant that the whole joke is, who knows which character is which. You can't tell which one's Jessica and which one's Ashley because we're just kind of sitting there in the back. You know, we like to think we're kind of the sanity of the group. You know, you've got all of these crazy characters trying to top each other one after the other. So we just sit back and let them all do their thing. And we're kind of those, you know, paddling feet under the water with like the surface of the duck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that scene where they just said, we're going to cut to you and you said the line that's now iconic. Yeah. Was there a lot of improv on set?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was, of course, you know, having Rebel Wilson and Adam Devine, you know, they're prime in their comedy field. You know, half the time we would do the scene as written, and then the director would say, okay, just let it roll and see what happens. So, you know, of course, thank goodness half the time I wasn't on the screen when Rebel was doing all of her ad-libs or Adam or, you know, Brittany and Anna. Brittany and Anna had a lot of banter for the second movie, and the things that these characters can come up with and to be so true to each character as well, just coming up with lines on the spot. It keeps you on your toes, and it definitely keeps you laughing.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, you know, keeping on your toes, you are a busy girl, even outside of Pitch Perfect 2 being released.
I am,
so
yes.
you do a lot of like live stage musicals. So now you're in American Idiot in downtown LA. Tell me about that.
Yes, it's we're doing a production, American Idiot, based on the Green Day album American Idiot. You know, it produced on Broadway about 3 years ago, and so we brought the Los Angeles production here with Glory Struck Productions, and they've done different productions like Spring Awakening and Bear, the revival of Bear, Los Angeles, about a year ago, and so they decided to do this new immersive experience for American Idiot. So it's being done downtown in downtown LA at the Vortex Warehouse. And so we have all these chairs set up, and all the characters get to roam, you know, throughout the audience and really feel interactive with the audience members that are coming to see us. And we're running on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights at 8 p.m. through June 7th. And Glory Struck Production always puts up their shows to support a different foundation. So we're doing American Idiot to support To Write Love on Her Arms for the veterans. So it's been an incredible production so far. We opened May 15th, which was the opening day of Pitch Perfect 2. So it was definitely a big, overwhelming day for me, a very exciting day. So I was excited to get to share like 2 casts in the same day. It's been great, you know, and then I'm also, simultaneously working on a new web series. It's called McMahon and Bernstein, and it's a new office workplace comedy. So I'm playing the lead in that.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures from that on your Twitter, and it looks like really fun cast. It looks like you guys are having a great time.
It's, I like to compare it to, it's kind of The Office meets Workaholics, you know, and then of course, but it's original in its own way as well, and it's you know, it's got romance and it's got comedy and it's got, you know, it's got stuff for the girls and stuff for the guys. So yeah, you can follow that at McMahon and Bernstein on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook for more updates and posts. We're in production right now, so yeah, you know, it's a lot of fun. I'm glad to be busy, but summer's coming up, so I'll definitely be excited for a bit of a break too.
But you potentially will do Cruel Intentions, the musical?
Yes. So, you know, Cruel Intentions, the 1999, 98, 99, you know, classic of its time. My friend Jordan Ross actually adapted the screenplay, and it's being directed by our good friend Lindsay Rosen, and we added music from the soundtrack, and it's all 90s music.
Yes, that soundtrack lived in my car forever.
And the best part of this musical is, you know, it's a dinner style theater. It's being put on at the Rockwell in Los Feliz in Los Angeles.
That's a great venue.
It's a great venue. You know, you get to eat and drink and watch a show, and you know, have audience members, the characters kind of roaming around the audience. And then, of course, it's all music that everyone knows from the 90s. And I think that's my favorite part of watching people recognize the song that comes on. You know, there's Genie in the Bottle by Christina Aguilera. You've got Bittersweet Symphony, which is, you know, the classic song of Cruel Intentions.
Right, he's coming up the escalator, or she's going up the escalator, and he's standing at the top.
Colorblind, you know, yeah. And every time that song comes on, you hear the audience gasp and go, so it's really fun. It's a fun experience. So that one's going through July, and that'll be on the weekends as well. So I'll probably, after America ends for me at the beginning of June, I may return to that one. So, I like to stay busy.
That's
definitely
great.
Keep on my toes, like you said.
Awesome. Well, keep on staying busy. This was Shelley Regner. You guys make sure you do follow her on all social media at
Shelley Regner.
Yes, really, really awesome. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Pitch Perfect 2 on iTalk Movies. Make sure you follow us on @ThePopcornTalk on Twitter. Follow, subscribe, all of those places, YouTube, iTunes, all that jazz. I'm Marielou Mandl. You can find me on all social media, and we'll catch you next time.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.